Okay, hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Alright, we are back at Chrono Cross after... I've gotta center myself on the camera here. Alright, I couldn't stream pretty much all week because I had some work stuff to take care of, but I am back. Last time I tried really hard to finish this game because I thought that I was at the end, and I was sort of. I mean, I defeated the Time Devourer. But it looks like we're not done yet. So, but I think, I usually stream for like 4 hours at a time. And I think that if I go for 4 hours this time, I'm gonna finish it. I mean, I can't imagine I won't finish it in another 4 hours, but who knows, because this game just seems to keep going and going. Alright, so, where was I? Okay, yeah. Okay, so I couldn't even remember what I was supposed to do. So the Terra Tower transformed into this giant statue thing. And then I went with Starkey to his spaceship and got like the anti-gravity device that he attached to the boat. And now I can get to Terra Tower. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go in there and see what the final boss, I think it's the final boss. See what they're like, because, I don't know what I'm getting into. Okay, so how do I actually get to... How do I actually get in there? So how do I activate this anti-gravity thing? Oh wait, was it in this world? It was in this world, wasn't it? Or is it in the other world? Okay, actually, okay, I am gonna need some help on this one because, in these older games, they don't have like these quest trackers or like reminders of what you need to do. Okay, so I'm just gonna look up really quick how I use the anti-gravity device. Oh, I'm supposed to go to the beach. Okay. That part I forgot, obviously. Well, I'm right here, so I can go to the beach. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in current party with whatever elements and equipment I've got on, because I got a couple slots here too. I want to see what this boss is going to be like, because, I mean, unless I spoil it for myself and look it up right now, I mean, I'm not, I don't know what they're like. I don't know what I'm gonna need to fight against them, and this is the good thing about video games, right? Is that you can make all these mistakes, and you can try again. Okay, we'll put Holy Healing with him. I think Riddle had one too. Yeah, she has one. But I can also, so she also got two additional element slots. I've never used one of these cards. I've never actually seen, I don't think I've ever seen any of these used against me, so, like, I couldn't capture any of them. This game just, it's got like a very strange system. I don't like it as much as Chrono Trigger. I think Chrono Trigger was just, it was just a superior game. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna hit her with a heal or recover all. I don't know. I'll just give her upheaval. Always a good move. Okay, so... Alright, wait. Let me look at the time egg in my inventory, too. A legendary item that is a complete enigma. It is believed to break the bonds of time. Am I supposed to use it here? No? Maybe on the other beach? Oh, okay. Yep, there's Luca. I'm supposed to be on this beach. So you finally made it, Surge. When did this sorry tale all begin? Was it 10 years ago when you almost drowned here? Or was it 14 years ago when you were wounded by the panther demon that attacked you? That resulted in you being carried to Chronopolis, where you came into contact with fate and the frozen flame. Or perhaps it was 2,400 years in the future when the time crash hurled Chronopolis back to prehistoric times. Or could it even have been 12,000 BC when an ancient magical kingdom met its end after trying to use Lavos? Each is close to being correct, and yet at the same time so far from the right answer. The true beginning was during the destruction of the ancient Kingdom of Zeal. Okay, so this connects to Chrono Trigger a lot more than I thought it would. As the palace collapsed around her, Princess Scala was sucked into a dimensional vortex along with the Lavos Mammon machine. Oh, Scala is coming back. Scala and Lavos became unified into one even more powerful entity that would evolve into the Devourer of Time. So we fought the Time Devourer last time, and now we are going to fight the Devourer of Time, I guess? Filled with the hatred and sadness of Lavos, half of Scala's mind became set on destroying all of existence. Yet at the same time, the other half of her mind desired to save the universe and to be rescued herself. As Scala fell through the time gate in this condition, she heard your crying echoing through time. Me? She heard me? That is when her story and yours began to intertwine. Wait, okay, does this have something Luca wrote to Kid when she was saying like, oh, maybe Giannis has already found you, but he's going to take care of you? It is also when the past and the future began to intersect, and when the world became divided into two. Led by the pitiful crying the young Surge made as the Panther Demon's poison took hold of him. Yes, Surge, the sound of your crying touched the heart of Princess Scala. Before the destructive mindset could become dominant, she cloned herself and sent her copy into this dimension. Whoa, what? But how does she clone herself? Well, I guess she could use magic. She and Magus were, like, very powerful magic users. Scala left her baby daughter clone. Baby daughter clone! When did I ever think I would say that sentence in my life? Scala left her baby daughter clone with her ancient magical pendant. So, Kid is her clone? Kid is her baby daughter clone? Because Kid gave me that amulet that lets me travel between worlds. This was to safeguard her daughter clone in life and death situations. Okay, calling it a daughter clone is kind of weird. I mean, I like kind of understand why they're saying that, but it's also weird to just say daughter clone. I'd feel more comfortable if we just called it her clone. The pendant would rewind time a little, sending her daughter clone into a safer point in the immediate past. Okay. Not sure I fully understand this. That's right, Kid is Scala's daughter clone. Okay, well that is what I said, so maybe I do fully understand. I don't fully understand. Okay, I fully understood that part, I guess. But I don't fully understand some other parts of the story, which I'm gonna have to look up. You're wrong. I'm me. I ain't no Scala's daughter or clone. Okay, could you imagine, like, finding out you're just, like, a clone? I mean, I guess that's why there's all these movies and shows about, like, people finding out they're clones, and I guess it's kind of like a, I don't want to say, like, easy, but it's like a good, like, kind of like, what is human story? Like, what does it mean to be human, and are they really human, and things like that. Yes, that's right, kid. If that's how you feel, I think Princess Scala would have wanted it to be that way, too. And now, about Project Kid. The time control project Balthasar planned out. Okay, wait, but Kid doesn't look like Scala, I think. I mean, when Chrono Trigger came out, it was like these very pixelated 2D graphics. And they didn't really show Scala much. But I don't think that Kid looked like her, really. And now about Project Kid, the time control project Balthasar planned out. The whole project existed to lead you to this one special point in time. The founding of Chronopolis, the time crash, and the battle between Fate and the Dragon Gods. It was all coordinated so that you would get your hands on the Chrono Cross and come to this place. This seems very elaborate and complicated. Of course, Kid was not to know anything about this whole plan until later. Further in the future, she is meant to travel back 10 years in time from now to save Surge from drowning. Okay. Kid was also meant to call Surge into the other world as he spoke with Lena here on Opasa Beach. You're our last hope, our final chance. Only you, who came into contact with Scala and Kid, Scala's clone daughter, can do it. Okay, so first they were saying daughter clone, now they're saying clone daughter. In the darkness that exists on the other side of time, Scala has been integrated with the Devourer of Time. Please, Surge, release Princess Scala from the binds of that monster and her own hatred. Show us, the life forms that exist on this planet, what our new future will be. Okay, honestly, like, I think the story is interesting, but also, like, extremely complicated. Sorry for making you sad, Kid. You see, we no longer exist in this timeline. But it is a relief to see that you have grown into such a fine-looking lady. But of course you're beautiful. After all, you're the great Luca's little sister. Aw. Well, good luck, Kid. Give it your best shot. Show us, the life forms that exist on this planet, what our new future will be. Okay, well, I guess it's good that I kept Kid in my party. Where even angels lose their way. 10 years ago, you died at this very spot. There's no mistake, you drowned. It's so weird to see Chrono talking. The truth is, this world, in which you are still alive, is the irregularity. This is the false reality. So, Surge is supposed to be dead. 10 years ago, it was Lynx who tried to kill you at this beach. After Prometheus broke the link between Fate and the Flame, Fate tried to eliminate any obstacle that stood in its way. In the meantime, the 6 dragons had sent Harley forth to try and gain possession of the Flame. Harley made contact with Fate's biological incarnation, Lynx, and tricked him into temporarily joining forces. The elimination of the Prometheus circuit's lock on the frozen flame was everyone's top priority. Lynx and Harley abducted Luca, who alone could release the Prometheus lock that guarded the flame. But the whole attempt only ended in failure. So they waited for you to appear instead. Okay, wait, but what happened? Like, they're just gonna gloss over that? They're gonna be like, oh yeah, they kidnapped Luca, but, and they tried to make her unlock the Prometheus lock, but it failed. You see, Fate calculated that you would one day cross the dimensions and try to make contact with the flame. I don't know how to break this to you, but Lynx was actually your father, Wazuki. What? Okay, this is just getting crazy complicated. Drawn closer to the flame caused him to become unstable, and the image of you dying in terror changed him completely. Finally, after having his psyche totally eroded, he lost his soul and was easily integrated by fate. Fate turned Wazuki into a biological interface, modeling him after your worst fear at the time, a panther. Okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Although Wazuki managed to escape from Chronopolis with you, he later completely succumbed to fate. Oh. So that's why his dad never came back. Or wait, no. His friend didn't come back. Or was it the other way around? I can't remember. Because I remember hearing that Serge's dad and his friend had sailed away, and then only one of them came back. But it had to be Serge's dad, because Miguel, the friend, he was still at Terra Tower. Or not Terra Tower, Chronopolis. Humans are such fragile, disjointed, imperfect things. Love and hate, life and death. Perhaps even fate itself dreamed of using the flame to someday reincarnate itself into a new species. It is quite sad, really. It's like when you gaze into the flame gazes back into you. Now up to you to decide how you want to live. You are the new Chrono Trigger. A new species is about to be born on this planet, an alien life form even more evolved than the old Lavos. At the darkness beyond time, the weakened Scala came under the influence of Lavos, and the two became one entity. It is now up to you, the one whom the frozen flame has chosen as its arbiter. You alone can decide how the new Lavos, which has an encaged Scala within it, will evolve from here. Your actions will determine whether in the future all time is devoured by Lavos, sending the world into everlasting death. Oh, okay, but no pressure. Balthazar foresaw this was going to happen in his world in the year 2300, and he was determined to prevent it from happening, no matter what it took. The Chrono Cross. It alone can combine the sounds of the planet that the 6 types of elements produce. The Chrono Cross can combine the sounds of the planet that the 6 types of elements produce. Okay. Alright, so wait, let me pull up my notes, because I wrote down the order that the elements appeared in some other part that Ricardo told me to write these down in a comment, so I appreciate that, Ricardo, if you're watching this later. I did write it down. I did listen. And when they, like, the order that those colors went off in, they made, like, some sort of, like, chiming noise. So, does that have to do with the Chrono Cross? It can combine the sounds of the planet that the 6 types of elements produce. The melody and harmony that brim within all life forms. Use the Song of Life to heal her enmity and suffering. We entreat you, Serge, please save Scala. Please, use the Song of Life to heal her enmity and suffering. You're the only one that can do it. Okay. So I guess this is where I use the time egg. No beginning and no end. To the darkness of time. No way, not yet. Okay, so, like I said, I'm gonna just go ahead with this. And I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna see, like, you know, what I need to do here. If I have to die and go back and prep some more, I'm gonna do that. Ricardo, hello. This part blew my mind. Yeah, I am greatly confused. Okay, I don't know when you came in, but I was just talking about you. Not in, like, a bad way. I was just saying that I wrote down, that order, that comment you left on my video. I wrote down the order of the colors in that timestamp. The final gate, which leads to the darkness of time. Looks like this is finally it. Come on. I shall do my best, for the sake of the people I love, both those I have lost and those I have gained. Come on, Surge Mate. You don't want to keep the girl waiting any longer. She's been waiting for you, and only you. And for over 10,000 years, I might add. If the world's gonna be destroyed, then let it be destroyed. If history's gonna be changed, then let it bloody well be changed. I'll show you what radical dreamers really dream about. Okay, so yeah, I feel like there was like so much revealed just now. Like, oh, is that Scala? Oh, I guess she does look like Kid. Yeah, there was a whole bunch of stuff revealed just now that, like, I don't know how to process this. Not gonna spoil it, just try to link the colors and what is going on in the battle, not saying more. Okay. I will try to keep that in mind. Okay, and you are... Okay, you're a white element. Okay, and then I do remember you said that it had to do with... It had to do with those circles at the top. Because I was wondering what those were. They've been appearing for a while. Okay, so it shows you the order. Okay, so like he did a green element and then I had Riddle cast a blue element and then he just did another green one. So it's the order of the attacks, like the color of the attacks. But what does that have to do with anything? Okay, I'm gonna try and figure it out. I can't promise anything. But I will try and figure it out. Okay, so it lists the colors in the order that you use them, so that would correlate with my list here that I wrote down. But then how does that relate to the Chrono Cross? Okay, I'm just gonna do heal here, make sure everybody is at full health. Okay, yellow, red, green, blue, black, white is the order I have written down. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna have to wait for something else to happen though before I figure out what to do with the Chrono Cross. Well, anyway, Ricardo, since we're not doing spoilers, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. How are you doing? How was your week? that do so much damage to Surge? He sure loves to cast green, though. He does. I think that's the only thing he's casted so far. Okay, so... I guess I do want to save some of these because I've got here... So I have yellow... I want to save at least one element for my list here that I wrote down. Yellow, red, green, blue, black, white. Or, okay, so yellow, red. Well, what if I cast them in this order now? Green. Blue. Oh, then he's messing up the order. What? How am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to make sure it's in this order? That's gonna be really hard. Unless I have to wait until he's not gonna... Or, I don't know. I don't understand this game. Okay, I don't know. Maybe we'll try that again. Yellow, red, green, blue, black, white? It's tricky, but being tricky is what this game loves to do. It definitely does. Maybe I'll wait for him to cast a green. Get their element levels up. So far, he's only cast green or white. So maybe I can... Really? No, he's... As soon as I said that, he cast a yellow. Why? Why? Okay, so... I guess I will try... to just play off of his. Okay, so yellow, then red. I'll just try it out because I can't control him. So I'm gonna just try to do what... Oh, crap, I forgot. I just cast, Cure Plus. Okay, so we'll wait for him. We'll get our... Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get our element levels back up, and then wait for him to cast another element and see what color he does. Oh boy, I don't know, Ricardo. I don't think I can do this. So, yellow. Time Devourer loves to make you waste your time. I guess he is appropriately named then. The Time Devourer. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna start after this, because I'm gonna have Surge heal everybody. Definitely a Time Devourer we have here on our hands. There's no question about that. Okay, so I guess we'll just start over. Okay, yellow. We already used her yellow. Okay, and you know what? This is why I wanted to just like go in here and see what I was dealing with, because if I need to die and try again, I can do that and like just equip different element colors. Okay, so red. Use that red. You know what I wish the game would tell you too? If you like from here, if you've already used another element in another row. Honestly though, as long as I like beat the game, I'll be happy, because I spent 50 hours on this game. Okay, green. No! He's messing everything up. Okay, like how are you supposed to do this? How are you supposed to make sure the elements are in a certain order if you can't control what he does? Okay, yellow. I mean, I'm gonna run out of, like, elements to cast. Red. I mean, he does seem pretty slow, though. Like, he hasn't had a lot of turns. So maybe I can like get the order in before he even goes. I don't think so though. I don't think that'll be possible. Because I mean, even though he is pretty slow, like it's 6 turns that I have to. I just did green, so blue. Okay. Ruin the order again. Okay, maybe I'll just keep Surge's element leveled up for now, because he's the one with the Chrono Cross. Oh, he casts yellow first. Okay, I could use that. Okay, so that's because that's the first element. And then I have red and green is next. Oh, we used all of Riddle's greens. Okay. So we'll just have her attack, get her element levels up. Okay, well we use that red. green. So, let me get this straight. You have to have all the elements in this color, or in this order. These 6 elements in this order. And then have Surge at, or whoever you have the Chrono Cross with. You have to have max element levels and then cast Chrono Cross. Okay, blue. What? I mean, is that, do I have that correct? Because that's just ridiculous. That is just like, that's just like completely random. Well, you do need all elements and cast them in that order. Yes. But doesn't it have to be, like, doesn't the Time Devourer ruin the order when he, like, casts an element? Because, like, being top level doesn't matter. Oh. So I could use the Chrono Cross once I have the elements in order? Because they're in order now. The Surge has the Chrono Cross. Your stamina can be your best ally here. Okay. Okay, I have to tell you this. Okay. I'm listening. If they are in order, use the cross. Okay, wait, but can I can't use the cross though, because I'm not at the full element, or full elemental levels. Because Surge has it on level 8. Wasn't that the only place I could put it? So now I have to up his elemental levels to use the Chrono Cross, even though they're in order now. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Chrono Cross can be equipped in level 1. Oh, really? Okay, well, that is not something I can control right now. So, okay, here's what I'm gonna do though. I'm gonna try to use Kid to attack and, like, get Surge's stamina back up, and then have him attack. Okay, there we go. I almost screwed that up, Ricardo. Almost screwed it up. Oh, look at that. Something's happening. Ricardo, I did it. Did you see that strategy? Did you? Getting Surge's stamina back up so he could attack and build up his elemental levels? Okay, I don't know what that did, but something's happening. Best boss fight ever or worst fight ever? You know what? I'm gonna say, not the best. I wouldn't say not the worst either, but I would definitely say, not the most thought out. I've been debating that myself for years now. Still haven't come to a decision. Oh my god, it's Kid! Wait, so by doing that, did I beat the Time Devourer? I've been waiting an eternity just for this very moment. Meaninglessly hurting one another, the disappearing life forms. Love to hate, hate to love. Why are we born? Why do we die? Evolution? The survival of the fittest? What is there to be achieved from harming one another, killing one another? You actually use the strategy that is recommended. That was awesome. Really? Did I really? Oh my god. I'm so happy to hear that. Because on it, like, I just thought of it. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. The eggs that we call planets and the innumerable spermatozoa? I don't know how to pronounce that. The life forms which gather around them. When one of those countless seeds is joined with a planet, a new universe is born. So, okay, you know what, Ricardo, let me say this. I never have done that thing before where I was like switching between characters so I could build one stamina up. That never occurred to me before. I honestly never even like switched over to another character while it was still somebody's turn. Like, I didn't even know I could do that. All this exists for that one moment, also that the universe can evolve into the next dimension. Does that make us all just pawns? Are each of our short lives nothing but a cheap sacrifice just so the one chosen life form can be born? Okay, I mean, this is getting a little bit depressing, don't you think? I mean, couldn't you just live your life and be happy? Like, do you have to make it some sort of meaningful thing? No, that is not the case. Each and every one of us has a chance of becoming that one chosen life form. Yes, it could be you. Each of us tries to do our best with the hand we're dealt, be it our genes or the environment we live in. Each life form, struggling to make the best of the life it's given, forms a link in the golden chain that leads to the creation of a new universe. Okay, we're getting a little bit more positive here. Ending perfect. Hello, Rebecca. Hello, Nicholas. How are you? Thank you so much for coming in. How has your week been? Every single thing in the whole of nature is perhaps just dreaming of a dream of life. All of them are also perhaps nothing more than a dream dreamt by a planet before its birth. Oh, but yes, eventually all dreams will return to Zurvan, the Sea of Dreams. Surge, don't go yet, Surge. It's alright. Everything is alright now. Time, which has been divided, will be unified again now. The time for farewells has come. You will lose all memory of this whole adventure and return to your own time. What? He's not going to remember any of this? That's messed up. But this time, you will be able to live your own life. Okay, I mean, I guess that's good for Surge. Thank you. You have given me another wonderful memory of my dear Dario. Aww. I shall never ever forget my last moments with him. Thank you again, and take care, Surge. We alone do not have the power to heal the world's woes or solve all its mysteries. And yet, even then... It was bloody good knowing ya, mate. Thanks for being born you, Surge. Aww. I had no idea Kid was gonna be so important. I guess now's the time to say see you later, mate, but I'll find you, sometime, somewhere. I'm bloody sure of it. No matter the time, no matter the world you live in, I'll find you. It is sad that all of the bad events were triggered by Surge not dying. That's true. Yeah, and then when I was on the beach, they said something about, like, Surge was supposed to die, and that's why, like, that's why the timelines split or something. I just remember somebody on the beach was saying, like, well, you were supposed to die, but since you didn't, this happened. Surge. Surge, hey Surge. Could you imagine being told that, like, you were supposed to die and then you didn't, and then you were told, like, well, if you hadn't lived, then none of this would have happened. Are you alright? What's the matter? Don't scare me like that. You just passed out all of a sudden. What? Terra Tower? Fate? What? Wait, he does remember. So why does he remember? What are you talking about? We just got here. You got some Komodo dragon skills for me, don't you remember? Yes I do, Lena, from the beginning of the game, the very beginning of the game, 50 hours ago. I do remember. You sound confused. Come on, Surge. Get with the program. Our summer's only just started. Wait a minute. Is that the end? So, why does he remember? Thus, the curtain closes on another tale. An eternity has passed. Fleeting dreams fade into the distance. All that's left now is me and my memories. But I'm sure we'll meet again. Someday, you and I. Another place, another time. It's just that we might not realize that you are you and I am me. Let us open the door to the great unknown, come across another reality, and live another today. Even when the story has been told, life goes on. Until we meet again. Take care of yourself, my friend. Forever yours, Scala Kid Zeal. Aw. So, now I'm wondering what happens if you had Lena. Like, would she remember anything? Is that Magus? Or Magus? However you pronounce that? Every second sleeping was a game hour then, right? He passed out for 50 seconds. Scala Kid from Zeal Kingdom, boom. Yeah, that was shocking. Okay, so is there... what's happening now? Oh my god, I beat it! Okay, but I do want to see what happens if I didn't do that whole Chrono Cross thing. So I'm gonna go back in and see if I can beat the Time Devourer. Okay, you know what? Enjoyed the game. I definitely think Chrono Trigger is the superior game. I just think the whole game was better. This game was a little bit confusing, like the story was a little confusing, so I'm gonna have to look that up. The battle system is definitely not as fun as Chrono Trigger. Pay attention to the video, there's a hidden message there. Oh, okay. Oops. Yeah, what are these images with the school? Like, I saw a classroom and a teacher in there, or somebody. Okay, there's the school again. Yeah, what's going on with that? Is that Scala? You beat Chrono Cross. Wow, Melbester, yes, you came just in time for the ending. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. How are you? The game is long though, Rebecca, 40 hours. When did you start the playthrough? It has been really long. So it's actually been about like 50 hours by now. I don't know when I started. It had to be like a few weeks ago. I can look at my first stream. But you know what, Melbester? I got one ending, and I'm gonna go back in and fight the final boss again and find a different ending. But I know there's like a whole bunch of different endings. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'll probably just look them up. I didn't do that for Chrono Trigger, I'm not gonna do that now. Aw, kid. Crazy how the stories of these JRPGs were in the 90s. Yeah, this one was super complicated. I'm gonna have to look it up. How was Chrono? Tooth, hello! Thanks so much for coming in. How are you? It was, it was interesting. I definitely don't think it was as good as its predecessor, Chrono Trigger. That was definitely the superior game. It was, I had fun, but the combat system is really strange. The story's very complicated. But overall, I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. What? Okay, wait, what are all those images? Like, so I will find you, even if I search the world over. Sometime, somewhere, I'm sure. Oh! Is she looking for Magus? Magus? Whatever his name, however you pronounce that. She's looking for Magus. Right? Because he was looking for her in Chrono Trigger. Is that why they were showing her in all those different places? Fun to play and cool characters. I agree. Yeah, I miss these, like, old RPGs. Chrono Cross fits, yes. Doing well, how are you doing? I'm good. Did you leave for your trip yet? So what's your interpretation on the ending and the credits video? Okay, so I think that, Scala was looking for Magus, or Magus, just like Magus was looking for Scala in Chrono Trigger. But, there is another ending in Chrono Trigger in the DS version where you fight something like the Time Devourer. You fight, like, like a Lavo-Scala combination. So I'm not sure what's up with that. Because if she is combined with the Time Devourer here, then why was she... I'm gonna have to look all this up. Like, why was she with the Time Devourer? Or why was she with Lavos? Oh wait, did I just save over that? Crap. How was the final boss then? You beat the game fast that you barely even grinded? What did you do? You know, Melbuster, this game's really interesting because, crap, I did save over it. That would be incredible if in a Chrono 3 game you were Scala looking for Magus. That would be awesome. Okay, so what happens if I go back in here? New game plus, continue plus. Okay. Let me do a... Oh, I can't. Okay. Okay, what was I doing in this? Okay, I hadn't beat... crap, I saved over the game I didn't want to save over. So, what was I doing here? I don't remember. Did I beat the Time Devourer here? Some people have said that the ending might also be Scala looking for someone being you, the player, as you woke her up. Oh. Okay, yeah, maybe. But I would have thought it would have been Magus. Wait, but why would she... Like, why would she be looking for the player? Okay, we may have to do some things over again because I saved over my game that I didn't mean to. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What about autosave? Where does autosave have me at? Let me load my autosave and see where that puts me. Oh man, was I saved by autosave? I think so. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We are gonna save in a different slot. Because I was only using 2 slots for my endgame. So we'll just save... I don't know. We'll save over Lena. Okay, now I'm gonna go try to defeat the Time Devourer without using the Chrono Cross. So we got that ending. So, which means I can unequip the Chrono Cross. Because I guess that's the only thing that it does. Because I tried using it before in like other random battles and I was like, I don't understand what this does, but I guess that it's literally only for the final battle. So Ricardo, what do you think of the ending? Like, who do you think Scala was looking for? Honestly, I think I mean, it makes more sense to me that it would be Magus that she was looking for, although that would make it also more sad because he was looking for her and then they just like never found each other. But in the DS version, there is an ending with Scala. Where she's like part of Lavos, like she's part of the Time Devourer here. And then I don't remember all the details, but Magus, I think, fights her / Lavos, and then but then he like wakes up somewhere and doesn't remember anything, but he remembers that he's looking for somebody. Okay, so I have no idea how close I was to defeating the Time Devourer, like, just without Chrono Cross. So we're gonna find out. Okay, I'm just gonna exit here and then save over my other slot again. So, just like Trigger, this game has New Game Plus and many endings. I actually remember beating this game back in 2017 at like 3 a.m. thinking, OMG, I beat Cross and turning off the game forever. Yeah, I definitely don't think that I'm gonna get the other like 10 endings or however many this game has. That's just, I think that would be too much for me. But I mean, I'll just look up like a video of it. The most I'm gonna do is get the ending I just got, and then try to get this other ending where I don't use Chrono Cross and I just like defeat the Time Devourer. And I think that's the most I'm gonna do because I think that I am just like ready to be done with this game. But I do want to play Radical Dreamers next. I'm really curious to see what that's all about. But you know what? I did say I've only been streaming for just over an hour, and I did say I wanted to beat this tonight, and I did, technically. So we're doing good. And, okay, so, you know what, though? Like, so, for anybody that wasn't aware, Ricardo here left a comment on one of my previous streams that's, you know, now a video, and told me to go back to a certain timestamp and write down the order of these elements. Which I don't think I would have ever figured out if you hadn't told me, so thank you for that. But, like, I mean, I don't know how I was supposed to, like, put that together. Just seemed, like, very vague. So I really don't know what happens in the other endings. Cross is a good game to experience, but it has a lot of flaws. When I beat Trigger, I literally start a New Game Plus immediately. Yeah, I completely agree with that. It's like an enjoyable game, but it's nowhere near the level of Chrono Trigger. I think this whole battle system is just very, very strange, like I've been saying, and the puzzles in this game are also either so easy that I'm like, why would you even have this as a puzzle? Like, some of the puzzles in Viper Manor, like there was this one where you have these 4 statues in this area, right? And you can move them around, and then there's like 4 little holes in the ground to move the statues into. And I'm like, okay, I immediately thought like, okay, what order am I supposed to put them in? Like, surely I couldn't just put them into any, you know, any statue into any hole in the ground and that would be the puzzle, correct? Wrong. It is the puzzle. That's all you do. That's all you do is just move the statues into whichever like slots are in the ground. And I'm like, why would you even make this a puzzle? But then there are other puzzles that are so obscure that I'm like, how is anybody supposed to ever figure that out? Like this whole Chrono Cross thing with the elements in order. Like, I'm like, how was I supposed to know? How was I supposed to figure that out? So there's a part you run into where it plays all the elements in a certain order, and then it makes this little like chiming noise. And at the time I was just like, okay, I don't know what that was, but whatever. And I would never have put that together if Ricardo hadn't commented and said, okay, pay attention to like the order of the elements here. And then what you have to do in this battle is make sure those elements are cast in that order and then use Chrono Cross. And I'm like, how was I supposed to figure that out? I just helped you with the colors order, but you did amazing figuring out the intended strategy quickly to make the colors match in the needed order. You're really good at this game. Oh, Ricardo, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I was actually born around the time this game came out, 1999, and discovered Trigger in 2011, so I was kind of late to the party. I mean, there is no time that is too late to discover Chrono Trigger. If any piece of media is good, whether it's like a TV show or a game or a movie, and it came out before you were born, I mean, it's never too late to discover it. If it's that good, and like just transcends time, whether it's gonna be good no matter when you watch it. Like, does anybody watch Cheers, the show Cheers? It was like an 80s to early 90s show, and I mean, yeah, it's an older show, but it's so good. Like, I like it better than most shows I've watched. So it's just so good that it just like transcends time. Blame your parents for not getting you into this world earlier, right? It's all good though. I was born in '94 and had a PS1. Didn't play Cross though. Well, you can play it now. My older brother was a fan of Full House and Boy Meets World in the 90s. Oh, I love those shows also. I mean, those shows, I haven't seen them in a long time, but I think those shows still hold up. Like, if the show is good, it's good. Like, it doesn't matter. Because, well, Full House, I didn't watch all of it. I've watched, like, a few episodes, but not, like, a whole lot. But Boy Meets World, I love that show. So, I mean, like, I would say I love Boy Meets World more than, like, most shows that are being released, like, today. So, doesn't matter when it's released. Surge, I think, is really the only one that needs to be healed. And I need to plug in my headset. So, give me 1 second. Out here promoting Cheers. Dude, Cheers is such a good show. I'm upset that I hadn't watched it before because it's so good. And I watched all 11 seasons and I really miss it. Hey Rebecca, how are you doing this evening? I thought you weren't going to be streaming tonight. Hey Ben, so tonight was I was only not going to be able to stream Monday to Thursday, so tonight was going to be like the earliest I could stream. But thank you so much for coming in. How are you doing? How was your week? Haven't seen an episode in so long. Well, if you have Hulu, they're all on there. Did you watch Frasier too? Or Night Court or Wings or like any of the shows, similar shows? And so I liked Wings and Frasier. I'm watching Frasier now, but I don't like it as much as Cheers. I liked Wings, but also not as much as Cheers. And then I did not really enjoy Night Court, but oh, and as you know, Ben in here told me about Night Court being rebooted or remade. Oh, by the way, Ben, I have been watching Knight Rider. It's pretty good. The original. I didn't even know there was a remake, but I have been watching the original. You hear about that money laundering scheme on Twitch? No, what was that? I saw a video on YouTube recently of the cast from Boy Meets World having a reunion, and they still look the same but older, but still recognizable. Ooh, I'll have to look that up. I know there was a Girl Meets World, and it was Corey's daughter, Corey and Topanga's daughter. And I watched like a few episodes, and it was all right. I didn't get like too much into it. Also had a PS1, but that console just has too many great games that it's easy to miss out. In my home, we had Symphony of the Night, FF8, and Spyro games. I was only allowed to play Spyro. Oh boy. Spyro is a good one though. Symphony of the Night, I have not played that one. I liked FF8. It's not one of my like favorite FF8 or FFs ever, but like it was enjoyable. But you know, it kind of like Chrono Cross actually kind of reminds me of that game in that like it has this very strange battle system. PS1, I barely play JRPGs. I was on Gran Turismo 1 and a couple other classics. Oh boy, PS1 had some really good JRPGs. I'm hanging in there. That's good to know. Do you have any weekend plans, Ben? Or anybody? Does anybody have any weekend plans? I remember Girl Meets World when it came out. It was just a way to bring back Boy Meets World, but the opposite. Yeah. That's true. I don't even remember if like it got good reviews. I'll have to look it up. It might be on Disney Plus. I mean, I have Disney Plus now. The money laundering that's on Twitch, apparently there's a group that was in Turkey. About 18 people were arrested for getting debit and credit card information from people from Bits. Oh boy. Well, it's a good thing they were caught, but I didn't hear about that. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. Spyro, I love Spyro. I miss Spyro. I really don't have any weekend plans. Yeah, I don't really have much planned either. So I do have this local minor league baseball team around here, and they host a game every year, or I think so. I mean, I think this is a yearly thing, where they have like a particular game where you can bring your dog to a game. So I am going to bring my dog to a game on Sunday. And I just thought that would be like a really like cool, unique experience for him, you know, like how many people are going to be able to say they brought their dog to a baseball game? Okay, I'm gonna... actually, not yet. You know what? I have never used a summon in this game. I keep trying, but it never works out because you have to have... So if you see that little field effect graph up there, you have to have them all the same color, and then you have to cast the summon of that color, and it just has never worked out for me. I'm actually really surprised that the whole order of the elements worked out for me. You're right, Rebecca. FF8 and Cross have a lot of similarities. Timeline-based storylines, strange battle systems, sequels to near-perfect masterpieces. Also being flawed but worth playing. Yes, that's perfect description. Because yeah, FF7 is definitely on my list of like top FFs. And the system was just so much easier to use and understand. Like Chrono Trigger's system it's very easy to like pick up and understand. It might not be, you know, the easiest. It might not be like in execution. It might be difficult because, you know, some of the battles are hard. But the system itself is like, it's easy to use. It's easy to understand. But in Cross, I don't even want to tell you how long it took me to understand the whole element thing. And the game doesn't explain that much. Sunday, I'll be watching Valkyrie for Sussy Sunday's live stream Among Us this weekend. Oh yeah, I saw her tweet about that. Looks like there's gonna be a lot of people there. That should be good. So I own PS4 and PS5. All I need is a PS6. Right. PS1 and PS2 I had, but no PS4. No PS3. Okay. I've had all the PlayStations actually. So I've had, my brother had a PS1, and then he bought a PS2, and then I would just like use his, but from like PS3 on, I started having to get my own. I mean, it's such a bad brother, right? Like, just let me use yours. Although he doesn't have a PS5, so I got that over him. What is your pet's name? His name is Jax. He's a border collie. Thank you for asking. He is actually about to turn a year old. He'll be a year old in at the end of June. My older brother went priceless reaction-wise when I had the PS5. Same when I had PS4. So my brother doesn't really play games anymore. He just like doesn't have time because he's got 2 kids now. But like he did have a very priceless reaction with me when I got my PS5. He actually was asking me like way before I got my PS5. He kept asking me like, so did you get a PS5 yet? And I'm like, no. But I finally got one this past December. And I was not gonna pay extra for it. Like, I know I could have, but like, it wasn't gonna happen. Okay, I guess I could try this. I mean, what do I have to lose? I don't know when he's gonna go again. Okay, he went immediately. That was a waste. That was a complete waste. You know what? We're fine. You hear about the $100,000 Fortnite tournament that Dr. Disrespect had today. I heard about it. I didn't hear how it went. But I did hear that whole thing about, like, people being told, like, Twitch streamers being told not to show Dr. Disrespect or not have his voice in their streams and like don't even show the brackets because it might have his name on it or something. When I got my PS5, I felt like I was the coolest kid ever and nobody had one. Well, you should have felt that way. I feel like that's still kind of the situation. Like, people are still looking for PS5s. Maybe what I'll do is just like keep trying to cast red elements, and then maybe that'll clear the way for Kid to do a summon. Although I guess I have to keep Kid at full elemental level. Okay, see, now he's messing everything up again. You know, I feel like I made it through the game without, like, much equipment. Because I didn't really upgrade my equipment much. Like, my weapons and my accessories and my armor, like... I didn't forge that many things. Okay, so far he's not doing too much damage, but I'll just make sure I keep everybody healed. I mean, how much hit points does he have? I feel like I've been fighting him for a while. Facebook gaming streamers could mention Dr. Disrespect in their live streams. Yeah, I mean, I bet if anyone on YouTube was there, they could have also. Okay, I'm gonna give up on the summon. Yeah, I mean, Twitch is just like weirdly exclusive. And then remember when Ludwig left for YouTube? And they just removed him from those end-of-year emails entirely. Like, they did that thing where they sent out an email of, like, the summary of, like, who you watched the most and all that stuff, and then, like, he was just completely removed from them. And he left at, like, the end of the year, so he should have been in them. I felt like a cool kid when I got the Wii in early 2007. I'm actually from Latin America, and my uncle who lives in the USA stood in line for hours to get one for me. Nobody had one in my school. Wow, that is a good uncle you have there. I love that your uncle did that for you. Then, plus I found out that a Twitch streamer got banned for reading a book on stream. Really? Is that under, like, copyright laws or something? I mean, I guess that would make sense. But I didn't realize that, like, the DMCA laws and copyright stuff, like, apply to, like, books? I don't know. I mean, it makes sense, but I never really thought about it. Oh, is it dead finally? Okay, I mean, I was never really in danger of dying. Alright, now let's see what this ending has. I had my Wii in 2008 when I started high school. It was hard to get at first because there was high demand. So many people bought it after it came out in 2006. Yeah, I had a Wii too, but I don't remember when I got it. And I don't remember if it was hard for me to find at that point. Be prepared to be mad, Rebecca. Oh boy. What am I in for? What? Do you just, like, not get an ending? What? Is that literally it? Why? Ooh. Why? Listen, I reloaded my entire game just to go through this entire battle because I was like, let's see what happens. And you know what happens? Nothing. Nothing happened. I miss the Wii days. So many memories. I miss them too. Wii Sports was the best. Switch is like, wow, modern Wii. It is. Are you mad? Want to rant for a while? I am displeased. I am definitely displeased. Twitch is overrated. Yeah, I think, you know, Ben, I think from what I see, it's like an adoption problem with people when it comes to Twitch, because they're like so attached to the idea of Twitch. And it's kind of like an adoption problem where they just don't want to like change. It's kind of like so I work in IT, and I mean I still work in like healthcare IT, but I've branched out to other fields now. But there's a really big problem. I mean, I guess it's still a problem, but more so like, you know, years ago when everything was starting to become digitized and put on computers, and like hospitals and doctors' offices and like other healthcare offices and facilities, they didn't want to move to like electronic medical records just because like having the paper charts were what they were used to. So they were just like, I don't want to change. And it was an adoption problem, even though having everything on a computer was going to be better for them. They just didn't want to do it because they were like, well, I've been doing fine with the paper charts and there's nothing wrong with them, and I don't want to have to learn a whole new system on, like, I don't want to have to learn this electronic medical record system and all that stuff. So, but it kind of reminds me of that, where it's like they just like don't want to change. Now imagine that a lot of people never figured out they had to do the colors thing in the 90s and really believed this was the only ending. If I played it back then and I had done this, I would have been like, this game is horrible. Don't feel bad about it. I accidentally deleted my save file in the beginning of my Jack 1 playthrough on PS4. Was so pissed due to the controls of PS2 on PS4. Oh man. I'll switch when YouTube gets a new UI. Yeah, I mean, that's, like, Tooth, I definitely don't think that, that YouTube's, like, perfect. YouTube definitely needs some improvements, UI being one of them. I completely agree with you on that. Twitch is much, like, cleaner and easier to use. That's true. But, you know, like, Trovo, actually looks like Twitch. I think they designed their platform after Twitch because it looks like Twitch. But you know, like there's a lot of reasons why people don't want to move off of Twitch, and it's like I've been saying in my Small Streamer Diaries videos, like as long as you make an informed decision about what platform you want to stream on, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to tell you if you want to stay on Twitch, like, you know, we have Tooth here, who I know he's told me before that he wants to stay on Twitch, even though I'm like always preaching about YouTube. And I know he wants to stay on Twitch, but I know he's made like an informed decision. Like, he's looked at YouTube, he's looked at all the facts, and he still said, okay, I want to stay on Twitch. And I'm not going to bother him about it again, you know, unless it's on stream. But like, I think as long as people are making these informed decisions, I'm okay with it. It's when people, like, don't know the facts and they're staying on Twitch just because they're like, well, it's Twitch and that's where people stream. That's when I get really, like, riled up about it. And that's why I keep telling people, like, just do your research. Just look into YouTube. That's all I'm asking. Just look into it. Look into YouTube. Look into Trovo. Look into Facebook. If you don't like it, that's okay. But I don't believe you should just go to Twitch just because, like, people said so and stay there, because it might not be better for you. You don't know. Never knew about the medical record adoption problem, but that makes a lot of sense. I wonder if our generation will be stubborn with having to use future tech. Maybe. I don't know, but I do feel like, you know, people today and then, like, kids, you know, kids today, they're growing up being, like, more open to things. So I think that people in the future will be more open. We are boomers in the making after all, the boomers of tomorrow. I would, yeah, I mean, maybe, but I would like to think we're not. I'd like to think that, you know, I'll still be an open-minded when I'm older. Trovo is closer, but I prefer YouTube over Trovo from a viewer experience. The differences are small, but bad for me. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. And because, like, YouTube also is kind of like, you already know YouTube, even if you stream on Twitch and watch live streams on Twitch. Chances are, if you watch live streams, you're also going on YouTube, like, even just to watch videos. And so you're still familiar with YouTube even there. But with Trovo, like, the first time I went on Trovo, I was totally confused. I didn't understand anything. And they have, like, elixirs and spells instead of, like, bits. And I don't even know. Like, I didn't understand any of it. And then there's not even, like, information on their site. Like, I had to go to YouTube and, like, look up, like, Trovo elixir because like, on their site I couldn't find any information. Streamers on Twitch are people who refuse to adapt and adopt to streaming on YouTube. They're going to be the ones that are going to be left behind because streaming on YouTube is much better. I think streaming on YouTube, like, right now, it's not up to, like, Twitch, because Twitch is, like, streaming is very, like, it's very easy to use and the interface is really good. But I think YouTube is getting there, which is why I made the switch, is because I wanted to get there, like, before YouTube becomes really successful at it, which I think they're going to. Like, this is something I really strongly believe in. But I mean, I know, like, not everybody's going to agree with me. Like, not everybody thinks and believe me, I've had plenty of people tell me that, like, YouTube will never be the place for streaming, and that, like, why would I go to YouTube because nobody watches streams there and all that stuff. And so I've had plenty of people who disagree with me on this, and, like, that's okay. Like, I mean, you know, you have to find the right platform for you. But I just don't like it when people aren't, like, looking at everything and making an informed decision, because a lot of people that I talk to don't even know that, like, YouTube has all this stuff. They don't know that YouTube put in gifted memberships or raids or, you know, the live redirects, which is a terrible name, but, you know, it's essentially the same thing as a raid there. And then, like I stream through Streamlabs. So I just added my YouTube account on there, and it's the same thing as going live on Twitch. I just have to click go live, but it's just through my YouTube account instead. People don't know that. People think that, like, you have to do some crazy thing on YouTube to go live. Like, oh, but it's so much harder than Twitch. But it's not really. I mean, it's just that people don't know these things. And a lot of people I talk to are like, oh, well, what? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And that's why I'm so adamant that people just do their research, because I think a lot of people are holding themselves back when they don't look at all the facts. I mean, like, once again, like, if you look at all the platforms and you're like, you know what, Rebecca, I still want to stay on Twitch. okay, I'm not gonna bother you anymore about it. But like, as long as you, you know, researched everything and you made the right decision for you, then I am okay with that. Although I do believe that long-term, YouTube's the better option for most small streamers, but that's not what some people want, you know? Like, some people just want to be on Twitch. Some people want that, like, short-term, those short-term wins right now. And I can't say, you know, I can't say they're wrong for that because that's what they want right now. And for me, like, my priority is growing my channel long-term. I don't think that Twitch is the place for that. So, yeah. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. It's not the streamer's perspective that is a problem for me. Wait, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Tooth? It's not the streamer's perspective that's a problem for you? Okay, so since I'm done with Chrono Cross, so I don't think I'm gonna start Radical Dreamers now, but I will do that next time. Okay, so for right now, I'm gonna go back to my autosave. Okay. Is there anything else I want to do, though, before I end? I don't like YouTube as a viewer, mostly. Okay. Well, that means even more to me that you come into my streams then, Tooth. Yeah, and I mean, I understand, like, but I find that a lot more people, like, watch my videos than come into my streams. So I feel like that's a better way to go for me. Like, even my VODs get more views than, like, you know, people come into my stream. Okay, so you know what I just realized? I never got all of Skelly's parts. I never got all of his bones. I'll have to look that up too. There is actually a YouTube video that summarizes and explains the plot of Cross by YouTuber Terra Corrupt and how it links with Trigger. Oh, I'll have to look that up. Okay, so now this place I haven't looked into too much. The time will come for the doorway to open. Okay, so I know this is just some sort of like optional... Oh, what's happening? Okay, I guess I'm fighting something. YouTube is going to be a very legitimate competitor to Twitch within the next year or two or more. I agree. But, okay, so you know what? Though, Tooth, is it just the live streams that you don't like watching? Because, Ludwig actually released some sort of... I'll have to look into it, but Ludwig released some sort of extension where the chat looks more like Twitch's. Hey, you should do a video of like highlights of game moments. A title could be My First Chrono Cross Experience, and you could use that for highlights videos every time you finish a game. That's a good idea. I used to do those, but it didn't seem like anybody really watched them. But now that I'm like focusing my content more on YouTube, they might get more views. So I would take my streams from Twitch, when I was on Twitch, I would take my streams from Twitch and then like edit them into like a highlight video, and then I would put them on YouTube, but nobody really watched them. Okay, so is it if I defeat all the enemies in this area, in the bend of time, does that door open? I don't even know how to get these battles activated though. Actually, you like how the chat is on YouTube for real as opposed to Twitch. What do you mean? Yeah, it's nice that the VODs are automatically there. There are a lot of great things, but as a viewer, the live stream UX is clunky, resizing the window, theater mode, etc. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree that that's a problem. It's a big problem. But, I mean, I just like... Once again, you know, it's just... I wanted to be there before it happened, because I feel like everyone's going to like move over to YouTube once that does happen, and I don't want to just be like one of like millions of people who are migrating over. You know, I just like, I wanted to be one of the first ones there. That could bring out more and new viewers when you're offline and build an audience for the live streams. Let's hope so. Although the mini player is Pog. Oh yeah? YouTube chat is cleaner and more well put together. Really? I don't hear most people saying that. I hear most people, it seems like, they like Twitch chat better. Most of it all is personal preference. Yes, I agree. And I mean, that's why I'm so adamant about just the fact that people should like do their research. Because like, even though, you know, I'm such an advocate for people moving to YouTube, you know, if it's not right for you, it's not right for you, and like I'm not gonna be able to make that decision for you. But I want you to do your research, you know. I don't want you to just stay on Twitch because of things that you heard, and then, you know, what if you're happier on a different platform? Because like I didn't know I would be happier on YouTube until I made the switch. But I had to look into it, and nobody told me to do it. I just did because I wanted to do my research, and So, yeah, I mean, I just think that people should just at least consider all sides and then make a decision. I will say Facebook is a hard pass. I hate that your name shows up in chat. Yeah, that does seem to be a really big problem for people. I used to multi-stream to Facebook, but it really wasn't going anywhere. So I just, like, I used to multi-stream to Facebook and Trovo. But Facebook and Trovo really were not growing at all. I think, like, YouTube has grown the most for me. And then otherwise, like, Twitch just, like, was just so oversaturated. I couldn't get anywhere. For me, it's the opposite. I find YouTube chat to be better than Twitch chat. That is very interesting. Also, I do want to thank the YouTube algorithm that recommended me your live stream last week. This is the first live playthrough. I followed through to the end. Ricardo, I really appreciate that. Thank you for coming in to check me out and staying with me until the end. I do appreciate that. And I am gonna be playing Radical Dreamers. So you can stick around for that if you'd like. I mean, not tonight, but the next time I stream, I'm gonna start Radical Dreamers. Unless my friends want to play, Borderlands. Forgot the name for a second, but yeah, like, they wanted to play last weekend, but I couldn't get my game installed in time. So I just played this instead. She is a great streamer. Aw, too, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Hey Rebecca, how are you? I just watched a video titled How Sunny V2 Hacked the YouTube algorithm. It's in YouTube. It's about how he grew his channel to like 1.5 million subs. Wow. I hadn't heard about him before, but found the video interesting. I mean, that does sound interesting. I'll have to look it up. And OP, hello, how are you? I am good. I actually just finished this game, so now I'm just kind of wandering around. Okay, I already talked to them. Do you have Streamlabs or Stream Elements set up for donation, or have you considered setting having the link hand in? So the link should be in my stream description for the donations. So I do, okay, well, to answer your question, yes, I do have Streamlabs set up with a donation link, which should be in the stream description. We hope your channel keeps growing more. I appreciate that, OP. I really, really do. It's just been so hard as like a small content creator, you know? It's so oversaturated now. Like, everybody wants to be a content creator. Which is like, it's understandable because I think, and actually this is gonna be my next Small Streamer Diaries video, is about like, do you have what it takes to become a content creator? Because I feel like people look at content creators, and I mean, this is what I thought at first too. I feel like people look at content creators and they're just like, oh, well, they're getting paid so much money to just be themselves, and I could do that too. Like, I could just get a computer and a camera and go play games, and I should be paid for just being myself too. But I mean, the people that are making content creation successful, they have certain qualities and skills that make them good content creators. So it's like, you know, you don't really get paid for just being yourself. I mean, you sort of do, but you also have to... Okay, so what I've noticed is that people either come to see content either for information or to be entertained. So they're either looking to like be informed on something or to be taught something, or they're looking to be entertained. And if you can't do one of those things, then your content will not be successful. And then there's also other skills people need to have. Like they need to have, you know, good work ethic. They need time management, organization. They always have to stay on top of things. They have to be creative, right? Like you're a content creator, you have to be creative. Like nobody told me to do small streamer diaries. I just came up with it on my own. Nobody told me to go to YouTube. I just thought that was the better option. Nobody told me to do anything. I just like did the research. I did a whole bunch of research. I still do. I still research YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and Trovo and algorithms and growing and content creation and streaming every single day. Literally every single day. I will research stuff about it. What, like, where's the market going? What, like, how is content creation these days? Like, you know, anything that has to do with content creation. I agree with you. You need plenty of skills to be successful. It's not just recording a video and posting it. Yeah, exactly. Like, and then I think people really underestimate the creative side of it, right? Because you have to be creative. Like, do any of you watch Good Mythical Morning with Rhett and Link? Super popular, like, YouTube channel. And they do things on their channel where they just, like, play games. Like, they, like, taste food and, like, guess what country it's from. And they'll, like, throw a dart at the board, like a map, and, like, to guess what country it's from. And they'll try to get their dart closest to the country, like, they think it's from. And people are like, well, I could sit around and play that all day, too. Like, I can get paid for it. But I think what people are not understanding is that Red and Link came up with that idea. Like, and that was like an original idea when they started doing those videos. Like, nobody was doing that kind of stuff. And so they were the first ones that did it. And that's why their channel became so popular, because they were doing these, like, new ideas. Like they have other series where they're like, oh, will it umbrella? Will it shoe? And they make umbrellas or shoes or, like, any other object they think of out of, like, random things, and, like, oh, will it make a good umbrella? Will it make a good shoe? Will it make a good whatever? But, like, nobody was doing that when they started doing those videos. So it's like, you know, you have to have an idea that either nobody else had before, or, like, something that people will find informative or entertaining. Because, like, when I started content creation, I got this advice all the time of, like, you have to provide value to your content, which, of course, like, makes a lot of sense, right? But nobody was specific about it. Nobody was specifically like, you have to make your content informative or educational, or you have to be entertaining about it. Nobody was, like, specific. I just found that out. I just figured it out on my own. I was just like, okay, why do I look at content? It's either to learn something or to be entertained. That's literally how I figured it out. I was just like, okay, why do I go to content? I kind of had this idea of recreating the myth from Mythbusters. Can you bake lasagna in the dishwasher live on stream as a cooking stream? Oh. Can you? Like, but wait, what did the Mythbusters say? So you know what? I have heard of, like, steaming vegetables in the dishwasher, but I don't know if I want to do that. Because, like, the dishwasher goes through so many cycles of, like, having, like, dishwashing whatever soap and, like, whatever dishwasher tablets are made of that I put in my dishwasher. And I don't want that to get in my food. I'm just here to be a famous livestream viewer. I want to know for all the chats I want to be known for all the chats I'm in. Well, you are a very good chatter tooth. But Tooth, I agree with you. Like, get on all the platforms. You could totally be a famous, like, viewer / chatter. Yeah, people's attention span are at an all-time low, and that is hard for new people starting new music, YouTubers, and content creators, etc. I have a channel, and every video I did took 10 to 20 hours. Yeah, I mean, like, streaming is actually, like, the easy part of my content creation, right? Because I can just go live for a few hours, and I don't, like, edit my videos, which, like, I don't really see the point, honestly, because, like, I don't think it would be that much better than just like the full unedited stream, but people still come to watch it anyway. And even if I had like a 20-minute edited video, I don't think people would watch the whole thing. I think people would just like skip around to the interesting parts, which is what I think people do with my VODs now. And then, but like every small streamer diaries video I do, it takes me, I'll say about 6 to 8 hours with the recording and editing. And then just also coming up with the ideas of like topics for small streamer diaries. That also takes a lot of time. Also kind of had this controversial idea for content creation I call Guess That Caucasian. Did you get that from Disguised Toast? Guess That Asian? Because I'll say I do love that series. And I do love that, but it's also it's like a lot of time invested in. I started to get busy in college, so I left that aside. So I do appreciate content creation starting first few years. Yeah, it's really hard. It's a lot harder than people think. I do my best. You are doing great, Tooth. I really appreciate you coming in here, even though you don't like YouTube as a viewer. And with, with me being like super pro YouTube and anti Twitch, I appreciate you staying here. Although it's not even that I'm anti Twitch. I know it sounds like I'm anti Twitch, but I'm not. For the most part. I don't like a lot of what Twitch is doing as a company. All this like trying to take 50-50 of all subs and all the stuff they, with all the news that came out a few weeks ago. Didn't like that part. I don't like a lot of the stuff that Twitch is doing, but I do think that like Twitch is still, it did a lot for me still, like, because I met a lot of people, I mean, Tooth, I met you on Twitter, but I know you stream on Twitch, so I go on Twitch and I see you, I see Sherman Cool, I see like other friends I've met on Twitch. And Twitch is still, it's still where I started streaming. So I still have that, it'll always be Twitch. That was my first streaming platform. And so, I mean, I learned a lot, like, oh my god, there's a fly in here. Flew right in front of my face. I mean, I learned a lot, like, streaming on Twitch. I just think that the majority of small streamers, honestly, I think the majority of small streamers would be happier on, or not happier, I guess, but I think it's better for small streamers. Would they be happier? I don't know, because it takes way longer to make any money on YouTube, which I know is like a huge draw for people on Twitch, is that you can monetize your channel super early. But I think that, we should really try and keep long-term goals in mind as well. And there was this thing I heard on TikTok where this guy said, like, most people fail because they give up what they want in the future for what they want now. And I feel like that is like very representative of why some people, not everybody, because I've got Tooth in here, but not like some people, that's why they stay on Twitch, is because they were like, well, I'm not going to get what I get out of I'm not going to get on YouTube what I get out of Twitch right now, so I'm going to stay on Twitch. But, we should be keeping both long-term and short-term goals in mind. Little by little, you go learning new things, getting better, and that is an amazing experience. But sadly, YouTube algorithm isn't that friendly with new creators due to overabundance of creators here. I actually think, well, I guess, YouTube's not the easiest algorithm, but I definitely think it's the best out of all the platforms I've been on. So out of not just the streaming platforms, like, well, I guess everything's a streaming platform now because you can stream on all the platforms, but out of like, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Trovo. I think YouTube has done the best for me in terms of growth. Maybe it's not easy, but it's been the best. But there's more people. I will say this, there's more people on YouTube than there are on Twitch, but there's less streamers on YouTube. But you got 2 billion people on YouTube compared to what, like 45 million people on Twitch? Another thing, if I have to give YouTube one more suggestion, I don't like that you can't click on someone's name and go to their page. Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that, Tooth. I do like you can do that on Twitch. Okay, okay, I realized I have this notepad open still with my Chrono Cross notes of the element order. Don't need that anymore. And very sad to see like low retention time from users, but I feel that happens to even YouTubers with millions of subs. Yeah, and I mean, like you said, you know, like people's attention spans are like so short right now that like I saw some advice that you have to like grab people in the first 30 seconds of your video or else they're not going to stay. And so I was doing this whole like long intro in my Small Streamer Diaries videos of like, hello, I am Rebecca MC, and if you don't know me, I stream live gameplay of various games. I love RPGs and action-adventure games, and I run this video series, Small Streamer Diaries, where I talk about my experiences as a small streamer, a small creator, and the things I've learned. And I used to do that whole thing, like even more so, I used to do the whole thing in all of my videos. And that would take up way more than 30 seconds, and people would just be like, okay, whatever, I just came here because of the title and the thumbnail and whatever. So in my next video, I'm just gonna go like straight to the point, and then I have my little, you know, Small Streamer Diaries like title flash up on screen, but I'm not even gonna do that in my my next video because apparently people don't like seeing that. So yeah, I am learning a lot, and actually one thing that I did not expect to learn going to YouTube, because when I moved to YouTube, I was only thinking about streaming. I wasn't thinking about any other kind of content creation. But I'm learning a lot about photo editing, doing thumbnails, video editing, doing, you know, videos, the algorithm with YouTube, because there's so much to learn with the algorithm on YouTube, whereas on Twitch, there's not really like anything to learn, because there's nothing you can like do with the algorithm on Twitch. It just favors the people with the highest amount of viewers, and then like that's it. Like you can't really do anything else. So I've found it very interesting how YouTube's algorithm works, and how like there's different strategies with it. I think, in my opinion, YouTube needs to have a streaming ambassador program. And YouTube needs to introduce a small streamer initiative program. Yeah, and they might be working on that. I don't know. I mean, I think they're working on a ton of things in the background. Livestream is a new Twitch clone that is coming out in the next few months. Okay, yeah. Was that the... So, Tooth, was that the streaming platform you were talking about in that episode of your podcast, where I made my first like 1,000-page comment? I did want to look into that. I haven't yet, but I did want to look into that because I saw it on your podcast. The sequence of events and times of the shooting, how can someone pull off something like that? My brother is a Miami-Dade officer of 15 years, and those Uvalde cops were too slow. The carnage is unreal. Yeah, I have no idea, Melbuster. I know, I don't understand it at all. I mean, I'm still waiting for more details to come out. But yeah, it shouldn't have happened. In the long run, I think you have a better chance of growing as a content creator on YouTube. You can reach more people that might not just be into games. Yeah, and like, I think like with Small Streamer Diaries, probably should have named it Small Creator Diaries, but you know, at the time, I was only focused on streaming. But I feel like like the more content, okay, so what I found too is that like content breeds more content, right? So the more content I do, the more ideas I get for more content. And then my next video is just going to be about like being a content creator. It's not even going to be necessarily about streaming, although streaming is like a form of content creation, but it's going to be like, do you really have what it takes to become a content creator? Which, and that would be apply to like all content creators. Yeah, discern to be an absolute bust. Really? Why do you say that? Alright, so yeah, I think I don't even know what I'm doing here in Chrono Cross anymore. I think I am just gonna be done with it. I'm just gonna go to like, I mean, I'm just talking about like different streaming platforms and content creation. So I'm just gonna go somewhere where it's like gonna be quiet in the game. I guess I could just click off it too. I mean, this is nice ambiance sounds, right? Just like the sounds of the ocean and birds chirping. So I am gonna have to look up the rest of the endings to this and then like just how it connects to Chrono Trigger because I didn't 100% understand the story. They said 3 cops were in the school when he got in with 3 more, and the security officer missed him outside before he got in. Just awful sequence of events. Really? Okay, I'll have to look up more about that. I hadn't heard that. It is just taking a long time for them to figure themselves out. I just don't think they have a big enough team for them to be successful. Oh, okay. Yeah. I understand. I feel like maybe what happened was like they they had a good idea but couldn't execute it. Because this kind of reminds me of like when Disney Plus came out and it was a huge mess when it came out. Like the interface was awful and it froze all the time. It had so many technical issues. And so I think like, the idea of a Disney streaming app was really great, but like it was a lot harder to release a streaming app than, and when I say streaming, I mean in the sense of like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, like streaming shows and movies. But it was a lot. I think it was a lot harder than people thought it was. Like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon like made it look really easy because their stuff is really easy to use. But a company as big as Disney didn't figure it out. I mean, YouTube and Twitch they still have their problems. They're giant companies. They're owned by even gianter companies. This camera perspective in the scene is insane. Do you like it? It's very pretty here, isn't it? This is the Sky Dragon Isle. So the Sky Dragon, who is badass looking, by the way. I don't know if you were in any of my streams when I saw him, but he is badass looking. He and the Black Dragon are the coolest looking dragons. So he was here. He lived here. And then I came to see him. And then I had to fight him to like prove I was worthy and whatever. And then he just like flew away. So he's not here anymore. But this was his home. This is definitely my favorite isle out of all the Dragon Isles. It's definitely my favorite. HBO crashed a lot when they just released the app. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I mean, I don't really use HBO much. But you know what? I tried to watch Dune on HBO like a few weeks ago and that kept crashing. So it's just like it's hard. It's a lot harder than people think it is, and I think like a small company trying to start like another live streaming platform, that's going to be extremely difficult, especially with YouTube and Twitch in the running for live streaming. Facebook gaming is still pretty gigantic, to be honest. Like, I mean, I know people don't really think of Facebook when they think of like streaming, but it's pretty big. Like, I was surprised, like, when I went on Facebook and I saw how many people like followed some streamers there. I mean, they've got like, they're up to like the hundreds of thousands of followers on Facebook, which that surprised me. And then I did hear, like, I watched a video where from Devin Nash, who, if you guys don't know Devin Nash, he's an awesome content creator, and I love his videos on YouTube because he does a lot of like fact-based statistics videos about streaming and content creation, and that's what I'm very like adamant about, you know, people looking at, right, is like the facts and the statistics. It's not just like, well, I heard this or I heard that. Like, Devin will provide the facts. And so he was saying that like Facebook gaming actually grows a lot of really small streamers. Like, they're the biggest at taking a streamer with 0 viewers and growing them to like a couple hundred viewers. Although I myself did not see that personally. Like, I was multi-streaming to Facebook and I wasn't seeing any growth there at all. So personally, that didn't work for me, which is another reason why I am such an advocate for like people like trying out all the different platforms and doing all their research and finding the best platform for them. Because maybe people do grow more on Twitch. Like, I mean, I think it's very rare that somebody would grow more on Twitch than like on YouTube, for example, but like, I mean, it happens. I just could never find a way for it not to be my real name in a Facebook chat, and that is sketchy to me. So you know what, Tooth? I'm wondering, let me look into this and I'll get back to you on this, but I created a Facebook page that I could stream on, and it's just called like Rebecca MC Gaming. So I'm wondering if you could log into that page and then like chat as that page, you know? So like you could still be chatting as like the Dirty Tooth, just like on Facebook. I don't know. I'll have to look into it, because like when I log into Facebook and I click on like my gaming page, it'll like, Facebook will tell me like, oh, now you're interacting as Rebecca MC Gaming, which I guess just means like if I post a comment, it'll like say Rebecca MC Gaming. Yeah, I tried that. Didn't seem to work. Really? Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know then. But like tonight, I'm only streaming on YouTube because Facebook just wasn't working for me anyway. Like, my Facebook page just like saw no growth anyway, so I was like, okay, maybe I should just focus completely on YouTube then, because like Trovo and Facebook weren't really going anywhere. Plus, Trovo was having some issues streaming, I guess. Like, I was trying to connect my Trovo to Streamlabs and it just like wasn't working. Seems like if you stream Warzone, Facebook is the spot. Really? Yeah, I noticed Facebook and YouTube, they have a lot of like the same games too, you know what I mean? Like, they have mostly like, if I look at like the top games being streamed on YouTube right now, it's all like first person shooters or like League of Legends or like Minecraft. But those are always like the top games. And so another reason I like went to YouTube is because like I didn't see a lot of people, if anyone, streaming the same games I was playing on Twitch. But if I was, you know, on Twitch and I was streaming any given game, you could find a whole bunch of people playing the same game. So I wanted to kind of stand out on YouTube that way too. Don't know if it's working yet, we'll see, but I mean, obviously I will report back because I talk about this a lot, so Alright, guys, I think I'm going to end it here. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. We are done with Chrono Cross. I'm not playing this again. I'm not doing it. I'm going to look up the other endings, but I'm not going to play the game again and get those endings myself. This was difficult enough. But next time I am going to play Radical Dreamers. So Radical Dreamers is like from what I know, I never heard of it before. I played Chrono Cross, or I got this version of Chrono Cross, but from what I know, Radical Dreamers is like a text-based adventure that is like a companion game to Chrono Cross, so I want to check that out. So if you guys are interested, please come back for that, or just come back for more talk on streaming platforms and YouTube versus Twitch, or like, you know, I love talking about that stuff, obviously. And if anyone here, like, you know, is a Twitch fan, we're not, you know, we're not bashing you. We're just saying, you know, consider other things. Excluding you, Tooth, because I know, Tooth, you have looked into all this stuff. I know that you know, you talk about this stuff a lot, so we don't mean you. Great stream today. Congrats on Chrono. Thank you, Tooth. Nice one today. Rebecca enjoyed it. Have a good one. Heading to Ghost now. Still hooked. Alright, Melbuster. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. GG, you finished it. Adewale, what? Are you already done with your stream? I haven't even... It hasn't even been 2.5 hours yet. I just assumed you would still be on. But thank you, Adewale. I'm ending it now, though. So everybody, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Please join me next time for Radical Dreamers. I don't know when I'll be streaming that. Maybe tomorrow or Sunday. I don't know. Doesn't bother me. I don't have any stock in it. Okay, Tooth. Well, I just wanted to make sure, you know, you didn't feel like we were, like, you know, bashing you or anything, because I'm not. Because, you know, Tooth, I like you. We get along. I don't want you to feel bad. Just finished. Nice. Adewale was killing it in Halo. Oh, yeah? For the time being. Okay. Alright, guys. Well, anyway, so Tooth, how dare you bash my platform? I know, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not really sorry, because I'm so pro YouTube, but on stream, I'm sorry, so I look like a nice person. But, you know, Tooth, really, honestly, like, I really don't want anybody to, like, feel bad about the choices that they made. And I just feel like when I talk about this stuff, especially since I have a video literally named Twitch is bad for small streamers. But, like, I know that I've talked about this before, but, like, I felt really bad. I still do sometimes. I felt really bad when people, you know, I would talk about moving to YouTube, and people would make me feel really bad about my choice. Like, what? Like, why would you go to YouTube? Like, why would you? That's so stupid. Like, people don't watch streams on YouTube. You stream on Twitch already, just stay on Twitch. People stream on Twitch. That's where people stream. You have to stay on Twitch if you want to go anywhere as a streamer. Like, you're never going to go anywhere on YouTube, and, you know, that made me feel really bad. So I don't want people to feel that way when I say, like, oh, I think that YouTube is the better place for small streamers. That's why I'm emphasize so much that, like, you should do your research and then pick the platform that is best for you. And I just really don't want to make people feel the way that I did when people would talk to me about YouTube. I try really, really, really hard to ensure that people don't feel the way that I do, in not just like with this, it's like with anything, you know, like I have a lot of people that make me feel stupid at work, and so when I'm at work, I try really, really hard to make other people not feel that way. Have a great night. Thank you, Tooth. I'm a Twitcher for life, but it's because I'm lazy, okay? It doesn't matter to me where people stream. With that being said, I won't watch anyone if they go to Facebook or Trovo, okay? Well, it's funny that you say that, since I just finished talking about how I, like, stopped streaming on Trovo and Facebook, because, I mean, they weren't going anywhere anyway, so. Banned Adewale. Yes. I'm gonna ban my only moderator. But I'm gonna ban him anyway, because he's a horrible person. Okay. I am gonna end it. This time I swear. I promise. I'm gonna end it now. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Have a good night. If you have any weekend plans, have a good whatever you're doing. I will let you know how my dog does at the baseball game on Sunday. I'm super excited for that. Tooth, have a good trip. Have fun with your cousins. End it. Just stay for a 24-hour stream. Oh my god. Tooth, do you know how tired I am at the end of like a 4-hour stream? I'm like exhausted and hungry and thirsty. I don't know if I could do like another 20 hours after that. You banned, I'm the mod. Oh, Tooth. Tooth, are you gonna take that from Adewale? Look at Adewale fighting back. Have a good night. Take care. Have fun. Thank you, OP. Have a good night. Have a great night. Thank you, Tooth. You too. I don't know how many times I've said that. I think that was like the 3rd time I've said have a good night, you too. You'll never be banned. That's true. Tooth will never be banned. Unless he stays on Twitch. I'm just kidding. We'll be waiting for the next game. I appreciate that, OP. So yeah, OP, if you didn't hear, I am going to be playing Radical Dreamers, the text-based companion game to this, if you're interested in that. Otherwise, even if you're not interested in that, you could just come back because I'm awesome and stuff, so there's that. Okay, I am ending it. I'm doing it this time. Bye, everybody. Good night. Have a good weekend. Or I might stream again this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. I'll post about it, just like I do about everything else. Okay, good night, guys.